What is happening, folks? Welcome back to the channel. Hope everyone's doing good. You feel me? To catch up on this body work I've been lacking on. The only thing I can't decide on for right now is whether or not I want to take this hood off and get it done while I'm doing the other hood, just because it'll just kind of be easy to knock out two hoods at once. There's quite a bit of Bondo love needed on this hood, and there's quite a bit of Bondo work that needs to be done on this hood. Enough talking, let's get into it. Things you're going to want if you're going to be trying to do this at home is you're going to want to have a hose ready nearby, or a hose and a little bucket that you can fill with water so you can dip your sandpaper into it, get that wet sand. You're going to need some body filler, self-etching primer, and various grit pads if you're going to be using a palm sander. I like to keep one of these around. These are nice sponge sanding block. I can't always find these triangular shaped ones, so I'll just buy the circular ones sometimes, and that works just fine as long as I got the material on the back, the Velcro stuff. You're ready to go. So the sanding process is pretty straightforward. Since I am going to be trying to get down to the bare metal, I'm actually going to be using 80 and like 100 grit, which is really rough, but I'm trying to do this as fast as possible, and I don't really care about having to smooth things out because there's so many different layers of imperfections on this thing. I just need to get down to the original primer or just bare metal with it. So let's get started. After a little bit of sanding, it's always good to check to see if you got some caked up paint on your surface, your sanding surface there. You can just spray it off with a hose, or if you keep a little bucket nearby, you can dip it in there. And this is what I was talking about. Oh, brand new. This is probably what I used to waste the most money on when I was younger. I would just buy more and more of these things every time it got caked up like that, and I had no idea you just had to rinse them off. How you guys doing?
You shooting an auto mechanic video for YouTube?
Yes, sir.
You do auto mechanic stuff?
Yeah.
What all you do?
I mean, when it comes to these things, I can do anything on them. But if you're talking like, what are you talking about?
I
Like,
get my water pump fixed on my Cadillac.
on a, what year Cadillac is it?
It's a 87.
You want to take my number down?
Yeah.
Well, I guess I'm gonna go look at a Cadillac really quick and see if I can go take a look at it and see if it's a job that I want to take on. Body filling, painting, body work in general like this is the most tedious thing you can do. It's a lot of just doing, undoing, redoing, undoing, redoing, undoing, and so on until you get the perfect product. So save yourself some time and resources by cleaning off your work surface. That's going to prevent your sanding pads from getting caked up with the material you already shaved off of there. Alright, so I just got back from checking out that Cadillac. I could probably fix it, but I just don't. It would take me way longer than a shop to do it because I don't have a lift in. I thought it was something like just straightforward, just kind of like right there on the serpentine belt, but it's like down below. It's a front wheel drive car, so it doesn't have the serpentine belt in the very front. It has it off to the side because of the placement of the motor. Has to compensate for the transmission to be front wheel drive, I think. I know a lot of other GM cars have the water pump right in the front, so I was kind of hopeful it would be that scenario, but it's not. And I referred him to a trustworthy shop, and we'll see what happens after that. Now it's dark. It's getting dark, and I absolutely for sure cannot do any painting after like 5 p.m. because that's when all the little bugs come out, and for some reason spray paint, aerosol sprays, just it attracts every single gnat, every single mosquito, and then once you got the light on it, it's just a hassle. So the best time to spray is probably like midday, like 3 o'clock, and hopefully I'll be able to do that tomorrow. But I'm going to wrap up hopefully sanding this thing down and getting it prepped for Bondo. But it actually looks 100 times better already because I got rid of the yellow UV layer. This paint is probably like close to like, I don't know, 5 or 6 years old, and so is a clear coat. And you can still kind of see it right here, I think, if my camera will pick it up. But it's just kind of like, it's just tinged yellow. And then up here and over wherever else I've been sanding down a ton is just bright white. And I'm seeing a lot of spots from where I was cutting the skeleton out. It's going to cause a little bit of pain for me to sand down, because I'm about to sand down the metal even further than that, and that's, you start to talk about sanding down and through it after a while. And this is the thing I was pointing out on the other bumper. When you fill in the emblem holes with Bondo, over time it recesses back, or it could just, you know, simply crack and fall back into the hood itself. So I'm tempted to bust out the welder and actually just do this right. And if I do that tomorrow, I will do that to the other one. I kind of wanted to leave one of the wagons looking like, you know, stock, but you know, people steal those emblems off anyways, and it's like, might as well just fill it with some weld, sand it out, Bondo it, and paint it and send it. But this thing's looking pretty good so far, and I will come back to this tomorrow. I might not be able to get a chance to actually painting it tomorrow still, but hopefully I can layer down some Bondo and kind of feather that out a little bit, and then Wednesday and on I'll be completely free to work on all this stuff. So yeah, I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace out. Yeah.